What's going on, everybody? Let's try to see if this works this time. Okay, sounds good. So let me know if you guys can hear me, though, for people in the chat. Okay. All right. Let's try this again. All right, perfect. Thank you, man. That was so frustrating, though. So let's do this again. We're back to the rebroadcast of MehariNation Sports Podcast here. Salute to the entire LDBC. I'm here with my main man, Full of Sports, in the house. So now I can officially hear you better, Full. So let's try to resume the conversation again. And is that you, Focus Ball?
Yeah, it's your boy.
Wow, okay. Cool. It's been a while since I've heard from you, man. How's life, bro?
Chilling. It's going good, man. Just taking it day by day and improving every day. You already know what it is.
Oh, good, man.
Salute to the chat.
Oh, man, good. So, we were actually talking about basketball here, but you know what? We'll try to surf the conversation a bit, though. So make sure that you're heavily involved as possible. So I wanted to talk about. Yeah, it's okay. Don't worry about the basketball thing. We'll not get into that yet. But I wanted to keep this. I wanted to make sure we have a topic in hand that we can all discuss about. So obviously the big upset of the probably of the year is Andy Ruiz being Anthony Joshua for those title belts. Now, my kind of thought process I've been thinking about, and something that's been kind of brought up the last few days, is who has the more likelihood of getting their belts back. Now, Jarrett Hurd lost his belts to J. Rock Williams, and to me, it was kind of an upset, but not really a huge one. It was a huge upset up until the Ruiz upset, though. So let me start out with Focus Ball here. Who do you think has the likelihood of getting their belts back, Jarrett Hurd or Anthony Joshua?
Well, first off, I'm not upset about Anthony Joshua getting his pussy ass handed to him. So I don't know if it's an upset. Niggas been told you that you can't fight. If you know boxing and you've seen Andy Ruiz hit the mitt, then you should have known that ass whooping was out. I expected that ass whooping because Mr. Robotic can't move to save his life. Jarrett Hurd, on the other hand, that wasn't even an upset in my mind either, because I've been told niggas Jarrett Hurd blocks punches with his face, much like Triple G. And I honestly would have weathered the storm, eaten a bunch of punches, lost on the scorecards, but then would have managed to stop him like he did in the Jason Wellborn fight. But, no. What's his name? Wasn't having none of that. J-Rock wasn't having none of that. He moved beautifully, he boxed beautifully, even on the inside. So I don't think it's an upset when the better guy won. It's only an upset when no one thought this guy had it in him, you know? But if you know your boxing, you should have seen that coming.
Right. I agree with that too, So, Full, let me ask you this question, though. So, who do you think has the likelihood of getting their belts back? Do you think Jarrett Hurd could have a chance of getting his belt back against J-Rock, or do you think Anthony Joshua could possibly get his heavyweight title belts back? What do you think?
I don't really know, because both of them shown that when they get hurt, they get hurt. Mm-hmm. They can't bounce. It's hard for them to bounce back. Mm-hmm. When Jarrett Hurd got knocked down, it was a wrap. That was just it. That was just it for him. Yeah. And when Anthony Joshua got hit in the temple, it was it for him too.
Right.
So I'm just worried about okay, if you hurt one of them, what's gonna happen with the fight, because they haven't really shown that resilience. So it's hard for me to decide who's gonna win their belts back, because it would be a sign of resilience. the end of the day, whoever has the better resilience will win the belt. And I guess if I had to lean towards like the if I had to lean towards resilience, I would give it to Jared Hurd by a little.
So let me ask you this other question too. Now, it's kind of been rumored or reported that Jared Hurd decided to fire his trainer Ernesto. Do you think it was a bad move on his part to fire his trainer?
Yes and no.
Okay, and why is that?
Yes, because sometimes complacency can make you one-dimensional. Whereas if you have a trainer who is going to always try different formulas and always give you different formulas to win and adjust, then that trainer is going to be the trainer who's going to who has your best interest. And I think Ernesto was just banking on that come forward style and that come forward, wearing you down style to work. And it just didn't work,
Right.
So, yes, it could be good. No, in the sense that you have to start over.
Okay, no problem.
Starting over from scratch, which means you have to unlearn some habits.
Right.
And some of those habits may be difficult to unlearn.
Right.
And so that's the downside to getting a new trainer, basically.
Right. I agree with that. So now, focus ball. I want to ask you this kind of question though. Now, if you were basically assigned to train Jared Hurd, what would be some things that you want him to try to improve upon to make sure that he doesn't get hit that much again?
If I was Jared Hurd's trainer, I would give him a set of focus balls so he can get his fucking head movement up. I would train him in only defense because he's got great offense, but his head movement, he doesn't move his head. He just stays there and eats unnecessary punches.
So basically, you would have him on the focus balls and just try to focus on head movement, kind of like on the rope between the middle of the ring, and it's just focus on ducking that head or something like that. Okay, he's probably went on mute for a second there. But okay. But I think I'll answer that question, though. I think that Jared Hurd's biggest problem to me will be how he'll try to adjust himself and also how he'll try to, stop getting hit too much. Because I swear to you, I mean, watching that fight another time, watching the fight over again, I felt like as if, Jared Hurd was taking unnecessary punches that he never needed to take, getting hit with hooks, uppercuts, straight right hands. I mean, he's a physical fighter that tries to lean in with his body, but in the long run, it's going to hurt you a lot more because you're taking unnecessary punishment and taking punches that you don't have to necessarily take, and I think that Jared Hurd kind of rested on his laurels, off the fact that he won 2 belts. But, when you had the opportunity to face against Jermell Charlo right in front of you, once again, you played ring around the rosy with the belts and tried to milk the fight, just like Mayweather and Pacquiao. But at the end of the day, I'm just really getting sick and tired of, these boxers thinking that they can continuously use the same formula that they did before. And you can't do that because it's not a guaranteed formula to success. You can only fight and control your own career. Nobody is Mayweather. Nobody is Pacquiao. All right. You're not a big draw. So I don't understand how these boxers will try to think they can just try to milk a fight and try to make the most money out of it, because right now, they could have fought and it could have been much bigger. But now, since Jermell Charlo lost to Tony Harrison and since Jared Hurd lost to J. Rock Williams, things change now. So there's going to be a lot of adjusting that both these fighters are going to need to do down the line to, get themselves back on track. So Another big piece of news that came out also this week too is that the WBA, and the WBC announced, announced that they want to force the undisputed heavyweight championship fight between Andy Ruiz and Deontay Wilder. Now, I will say this though, on Trill Boxing Talk Friday, Black Fight Fan TV made a good point that, don't be surprised if the WBO decides to strip Andrew Ruiz of the belt and try to grant the belt to Tyson Fury, because essentially, since he has Type Rank in his back pocket, he's going to try to, stop the undisputed bout from happening. So let me send this question to Fuller though. So would you mind seeing undisputed right away, or you want to just wait on that? Oh, Focus Ball probably put his microphone back on there. So, but you can answer that question.
Who, me or Fuller?
Yeah, I could ask you that question. So I was asked. The question is would you mind? Would you mind seeing undisputed right away, even if it's the WBO decides to play politics and strip Andrew Ruiz of the belt?
Listen, if the faggot-ass WBO decides to strip Andy Ruiz, I say the fans boycott the WBO, because last time I checked, the WBO only became a real belt as of 2006. That's not that long ago, buddy. Ain't nobody give a fuck about the WBO. So if you want to get in the middle of undisputed because you want to power play like a fucking little cocksucker, then we just disregard that belt. Fuck the WBO. You're as good as the IBO. No one takes you seriously. So yes, I want to see undisputed next. Fuck the AJ rematch and fuck the Ortiz rematch. I don't give two shits about the Ortiz rematch. Undisputed right now. Right now.
All right. Enough said with that. Okay, Fuller, here, there's a question to you, brother. Fuller, you there? Okay, he's probably not there at the moment, though. So, but okay. But I say this, though, too, at this aspect. I mean, listen, I'm here. Okay.
I'm here.
Okay, cool. I was just asking you I was actually asking the question, would you mind to see undisputed right away? And, because the WBA and the WBC are, enforcing that matchup before Ortiz versus Wilder. If that were to be the case, you wouldn't mind that at all?
Personally, I would like to see Deontay Wilder brush off Dillian White.
Yeah.
Before, he's getting on my nerves. And then I would like to see Andrew Ruiz possibly stop Anthony Joshua sooner.
Okay.
With that being said, that way you brush off all these UK people.
Mm-hmm.
And then all roads lead up to you guys meeting each other.
Okay. So now the other issue that also Focus Ball made a great point on is that, the WBO might play some fuckery into the mix though by trying to strip Andrew Ruiz of the belt though. So do you think it'd be necessary to try to boycott against the WBO to keep the belt intact for undisputed?
Boycott and sue them.
So you
boycott and sue them. If they do some crap like that, man, I would sue them. I'm letting you know right now.
Honestly, though, bro, let me be honest with you guys.
Right now.
Right.
Dude, I would sue the crap out of them.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what I'm thinking, though, bro. Listen, I never understood why people took the WBO seriously. It's not even a true legitimate belt. It's almost like the equivalent of the IBO belt. And what the really sad part is that they're trying to justify the IBO belt in a few years. So now it's going to make it even harder. You got to have like 5 belts to be undisputed. Like, bro, I'm so sick and tired of these sanctioning bodies trying to milk the fans, milk fighters to try to get money out of them. Just like what Focus Ball was saying.
Okay.
Were you trying to say something, Focus Ball?
We need to, we gotta behave like these fags don't run nothing because they don't. I don't understand how. Look, every single penny and every single dollar that a sanctioning body earns comes from people like you and me and Fula and all the boxing fans worldwide.
Right.
Boxing fans regulate boxing, not fucking sanctioning bodies. Because sanctioning bodies only put together the fights. That's pretty much what they're supposed to put together, the fights that people want to see. Because those are the money fights. And that's how they get paid. So why the fuck am I going to let my hoe determine, like, bitch, I pay you. If I hire a prostitute, she's not going to tell me shit. I'm a fuck. She's not going to tell me nothing. So why do we need these prostitutes to tell us and then collect? Basically, they don't fuck us and take the money. No, I can fuck myself and keep my money.
Hey, Focus Ball's on a roll today, though, bro. But you know what, though? You're right, man. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, bro, these belts, like Mayweather said this quote that will stand for the test of time. All these belts do is collect dust. All right. I mean, the thing is this: if the fans decide to unify together and go to war against these sanctioning bodies, trust me, boxing would be much more smoothly ran. But because we're so caught up in about who has which belt and who has this and that, I mean, it's really becoming ridiculous. I mean, the bottom line is this: we know. I never even took the WBO as a serious, legitimate sanctioning body because I call that the top rank belt for a reason. Because Top Rank has had the WBO on his back pocket. It's almost the same equivalence when Don King had the WBC in his back pocket during the 80s and the 90s. All right. So the thing is this: if I were Ruiz and if I wanted to go for undisputed, I would sue the hell out of the WBO and saying, hey, bro, I'm going for undisputed. If you like it or not. If you got a problem with it, guess what? I'm going to sue you, and I'm going to sue everything you're worth until you allow us to make that fight happen. All right? We've been waiting for the undisputed heavyweight championship for the past decade, since Lennox Lewis won the titles back in 1999. And it is not right or fair.
Lennox Lewis didn't have no WBO.
Nah, exactly.
Show me one undisputed champion with a WBO. Show me one undisputed champion with a WBO. So you know what? If I was Andy Ruiz, I would take a trash can, get a video camera, throw it in the trash can, tell him to suck my dick because I ain't paying you no sanctioning fees. And guess what? When I fight Deontay Wilder, if I win that fight, I'm the undisputed champion. You want to know why? The last undisputed champion ain't had no WBO belt. You ain't never had undisputed. So why do we need you to be undisputed? No one ever had WBO to be undisputed.
Right. Exactly. Focus Ball. Exactly. Why is it that boxers need that WBO belt?
Because it's money, bro.
It's all money, right?
I'm telling you, it's money. When you have those infinity stones, bro, infinity stones mean you have to pay the sanctioning fees, but at the same time, you're A side. I'm serious. Right now, Andy Ruiz is Thanos, okay? Andrew Ruiz is Thanos, and Deontay Wilder is, I guess Deontay Wilder is like Juggernaut or something like that.
Right.
So, I don't like these alphabet soup belts either. Okay, I don't like them, but the reality is you have to collect them in order for you to not only get more money, but in this boxing game, as clowny as it is, you need them for undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just the way it goes right now. It's not like the old school anymore. It's not like that. We're living in different times.
But I don't agree, man. You don't need it for undisputed because name one boxer that had it that was undisputed. Every undisputed boxer never had the WBO title. It was only in 2006 that because a group of people said, hey, you need this one too to be undisputed. No, I don't. Fuck you. I pay you. I pay you.
Well, the reality is,
shit, and I pay you. Suck my dick.
The reality is, not only are you going to need that belt, you're going to need the lineal championship too nowadays. So even if
there is no lineal. Let me prove there's no lineal.
Tyson Fury is
there's no
the lineal champion right now, though. Tyson Fury's the lineal champion.
Bullshit, he's not.
Well, unfortunately, on paper, he's the lineal champion. But
he is the lineal champion. On paper,
okay,
so that's why he's fighting right
what
now.
Line? Where does his line go back to?
Okay. Let me let Focus Ball say what he's got to say. Go ahead, man.
All right, I know I'm being a dickhead today. I apologize.
No, you're good.
So the reason I say Tyson Fury is not lineal is because lineal means line, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we need, first off, the line exists when there's an undisputed champion. Now, if you go back, Lennox Lewis had the lineal title, right?
Right.
And Lennox Lewis was also undisputed.
Right.
Now, you had, what's his name? The Klitschko's had both belts, right? I have a question. What line of belt goes back to Muhammad Ali, goes back to Jack Johnson, goes back to the first?
The original heavyweight belt.
The WBC, the green belt.
Right.
Right. So once Lennox Lewis retired, there has to be a new lineage, right? The new lineage starts when number 1 and number 2 fight each other. But I'm pretty sure that Lennox Lewis and Vitaly Klitschko and Vladimir were the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there couldn't be an undisputed, or there really couldn't be a lineal. Like right now, there couldn't be a lineal champion because those two never fought each other. Because they never fought each other, there was no undisputed, and the new line didn't begin.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Lennox Lewis is lineal and undisputed because he beat Mike Tyson, who was lineal and undisputed, and Evander Holyfield, who was lineal and undisputed. I say the line starts when you're fucking undisputed, because how can you be the lineal champion when there's a dispute between who the fuck the man is? The man who beat the man. Okay, you beat Klitschko. Klitschko wasn't the fucking man. Here's why. Klitschko never got the last title to become undisputed.
There was a WBC belt from
when his brother retired. He didn't get the WBC belt. Right. Which is the one that goes back to Muhammad Ali in a line that all the best had. You beat Klitschko. Klitschko was not undisputed. There were other champions. So what line are you continuing? And you're continuing the lineage of not an undisputed line. You get me? Fury's line didn't start with undisputed. When there's an undisputed champion, then the new lineal begins. At least in my book, because your only claim to fame is if you beat Klitschko. Well, who the fuck else you beat? Not only yourself. You left boxing, dickhead. You retired. So a new line. By that rule, you retired. New line begins. But a new line can't begin because we have 2 champions. And until Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder fought, there was no undisputed. You left the game, bro. You just coming back. Oh, and you're still the champion? You quit. What fucking champion quits?
Right.
You quit, coward. And you come back to be no, dickhead. Years passed. That is expired. Get the fuck out of here. So, wait, you're the lineal champion. So why aren't you defending your lineal belt against the next man in line? I'll call him lineal champion when he becomes undisputed and creates a new line.
I'm telling you, man, Focus Ball's on a tear today, though, bro. Okay, well, you can have your piece now.
I mean, that sounds all fine and dandy, but the reality is I'm going off of what is on paper. I'm a realist. I'm a realist at the end of the day. And what's on paper is that Tyson Fury is the lineal champion, and he is defending it against Tom Schwartz.
Unfortunately.
In order to be undisputed, he must beat the lineal champion, which means that if it were to happen that Deontay Wilder and Andrew Ruiz for undisputed, the winner would have to fight Tyson Fury to get that undisputed status. Because at the end of the day, on paper,
how did Fury become lineal?
Because he beat the man.
Who was the man?
The man at that time was Klitschko. The man at that time was Klitschko.
The man.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Champion. Hold on, he was.
Can I ask you this question, though, Focus Ball? Can I ask you this question, though? Are you kind of like following like the original rules of lineage? Is that where you're going to base it off of?
No, I'm being a complete asshole. I'm trying to rewrite the books because fuck this guy. Because the only reason everyone's giving this fucking faggot, this fucking coward faggot, any attention is no, you're a drug addict who fucking quit. You gave up on boxing and the show went on without you. And then you jump back in and suddenly you're the champion again. Okay, well, let's qualify that. Who the fuck, how was Klitschko the lineal champion? You got it from Klitschko. How is he the lineal champion? Qualify that to me. Because last time I checked, Klitschko didn't create a new line because he didn't fight his brother. So we could not have an undisputed champion. The lineal champion is undisputed as well, at least in my understanding. Like
not
if you're lineal, you're the champion.
Not necessarily.
You're the man.
No,
all right, focus, Paul. Let Fuller speak. Let's both speak.
Not necessarily, because at the end of the day, Canelo is the lineal champion, but he's not undisputed right now. Canelo is the lineal champion at middleweight. The fact of the matter is he ain't undisputed. He still has to get that WBO belt from Boo Boo. And I don't know if he wants to bark up that tree, to be honest with you. I really don't know if he wants to do that, because I don't hear him calling him out. I don't hear him saying that, I want that fight, So he holds the lineal championship, but he's still not undisputed. That's just it. So that's what I'm saying.
So right. when homie retired, there was no new line created. Because when Vitaly Klitschko retired, Klitschko became the man, right? That's what you guys are telling me. He became the lineal when his brother retired. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
How did he become the lineal? Who did he beat to become the lineal? How did that new line start when he was not the one and only champ? There was another champ while he was champ. So there was no one champ, and none of them beat the lineal. So when did the new line start for Klitschko to become the lineal? Is it because Klitschko went on an ungodly reign? And then basically because he's been, but even then, you had another man who was next to you as champion. You didn't fight him. The line there ain't no line, bro. There ain't no line. Why did Klitschko beat Bermain Severn? Then you would have had a line. Then you would have been undisputed, the champion of the world, and there's no other man. You're the man, but there was another man. His name was Deontay Wilder.
Yep.
Because he took it from Bermain, and you never came to see him.
Never did.
I'll agree with y'all. I'm probably definitely wrong, but just the way I view it, bro, if Tyson Fury's lineal because he beat the man, well, who did the man beat to become the man? Because when he was the man, there was another man there who he didn't want to see, who he didn't want to have smoke with.
Yeah, man.
That's all I'm trying to say.
You feeling better now?
I'm gonna be real with you. I mean, you have some good points, but the reality is, Klitschko ducked Deontay Wilder. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that he ducked Deontay Wilder. In fact, the WBC ordered Klitschko to fight Deontay Wilder, but Klitschko said, well, I'd rather have this rematch with Anthony Joshua. That's what he said. Klitschko ducked Deontay Wilder.
Exactly.
Deontay Wilder even said, Deontay Wilder said in the magazine, Deontay Wilder even said in the magazine that, I think I would beat Klitschko. I think I'm faster, more athletic. And the sparring that we did, it was a very good experience, So Klitschko didn't want no parts of that. People think it's the other way around that Deontay Wilder ducked Klitschko. No, he didn't. Shelly Finkel was trying to push for that fight, believe it or not.
Right.
But
pretty much, yeah.
Klitschko didn't want no smoke. That's just the bottom line.
And Klitschko, in my book, ain't the man. You were never the man. Because you didn't fight the nigga who was the man, who has the belt that goes back to Muhammad Ali.
No, but he had the lineal championship. That's the thing. He had the lineal championship, and then Tyson Fury fought him, beat him, and so that's the thing. So Klitschko did not become undisputed. I want to know how he got the lineal championship. Because at the end of the day, Klitschko, I mean, I'm not trying to hype him up or anything, but he went on a tear, and he beat the man, at the end of the day. Now, he didn't beat Lennox Lewis. No, his brother. That was his brother who didn't beat Lennox Lewis. But anyhow, that's just what it comes down to. I mean, I'm sorry, but I don't make the rules.
I understand what you're saying.
I don't make the rules with these things.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make. It's because someone made up some rules. Follow me now. Originally, I have a conspiracy theory, right? Originally,
let's hear it.
One world title originally, and I followed the line of the world title. It kept on changing. Originally, it was from one white guy to another white guy to another white guy to another white guy. But once Jack Johnson color line, then it was black. Then eventually the color line was put in place by Jack Dempsey, and then it was white guys. But basically, it just became black. It was always black hands for at least 20 to 30 years. And then another sanctioning body was created, and they had two non-black guys fight for that belt. So legitimately speaking, the belt that all these great champions held that has significance is the WBC belt. So in my opinion, which this is all opinion, it's not facts, but opinion based on logic, is that the WBC belt is the lineal because it's the only belt that goes back as far as all the champions. You get me?
Yep.
So that's the one belt this dude held. And he never fought the dude who had it. We all know if he fought the dude who had it, he would have gotten fucking sparked.
Mm-hmm.
So my thing is, I don't feel that he stepped into the legitimate belt because the first belt is the real belt. To me, those other belts were created as an attempt to get other people besides black people to be champions.
No, I won't say that. I won't go as far to say that because it's sanctioning fees. These sanctioning bodies make a lot of money from these belts, okay? That's why some of these champions drop belts. They're like, man, I'm not paying these sanctioning fees. I'm just going to drop this belt because these sanctioning fees are, at the end of the day, they're moolah. It comes down to that.
Exactly. So why would I beat somebody up? Why am I going to beat somebody up and then pay you with money? Why? Because
at the end of the day, if you play it right, there's a return on your investment. Because as I said, A-side, you get to be A-side. You get to choose what network you're going to be on. You're going to get to be basically you get to hold the belts and sometimes endorsements happen from those belts. You know, I'm not saying all the time, but if you play it right, you're going to get endorsements. Andrew Ruiz, for example, just inked a Snickers deal, and now that Tom Schwartz guy is trying to follow suit because in the face-off he was eating a Snickers. So it's a marketing thing. You got to use those Infinity Stones to your advantage, you know, and that's just what it comes down to. Because look, now Eddie Hearn cannot really negotiate again with Andrew Ruiz. He has to play by Andrew Ruiz's part. Now Andrew Ruiz can say, "Listen, I don't want the fight to be in whatchamacallit. I don't want the fight to be in London. I want the fight to be in Mexico." So with that being said, that's what it comes down to. That's why you get a return on your investment with these Infinity Stones.
There you go. I think at both at the end of the day, we both agree upon the fact that, you know, Tyson Fury never really truly beat the man, but Klitschko was never the man to begin with because he never beat his brother. So I think we can both all agree that, you know, the line of the lineage championship was broken. So, and let's see who we got here in the chat though. JC, salute, brother. Thank you for tuning in, though, man. Appreciate it, brother. So I think we're pretty much in agreement to that. So now, if Ruiz and Wilder decide to fight, now what venues do you think that fight should take place? Now, I'll answer that question first. I think the fight, if they decide to go for undisputed in the heavyweight division, I would go having the fight in probably in Cowboy Stadium in Dallas, Texas. You know, you could use that stadium. Can you imagine the kind of money and the kind of fans that will come into that building? Man, that'd be crazy. So let's start with Focus Ball. Now, what if the undisputed championship fight were to take place? What kind of venue should they be? Which kind of venue would you want it to take place at?
Oh man. Well, I'm on the East Coast, so I would love for it to be over here. I think Madison Square Garden's a great place. All the greats have fought there, and I think, hey, motherfuckers put their fights on at MSG. Like, bro, your fight's not that special. If you keep putting every fight on at MSG, you devalue it. You get me? Like, but anyway, I think MSG is a good spot because I want to go see it. But I think Texas might be an even bigger spot because that's basically America and Mexico. You get me?
Yep.
So I think the Cowboy Stadium would be a great place. Vegas probably wouldn't be the best place for Wilder, but I would say Texas or New York.
You know what's so sad about it though, Focus Ball, is that in 1999 when Lewis and Holyfield fought for the first time for the undisputed championship, dude, that building was packed that year, and it felt like it was like a huge big fight field. But now Madison Square Garden in big fights doesn't mean much anymore. I mean, it's sad to see, man. You feel what I'm saying, bro?
I do. Kind of big fight goes on there, you know. So it just loses.
You're kind of breaking up a little bit. Yeah, he's breaking up a little bit though, so he'll get his fix.
Oh, sorry.
Figured it out?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yep, much better. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was saying that it loses every regular ass fight over there. The UFC's been putting on so many matches over there that it like kind of lost its meaning.
Yeah, bro. It's really unfortunate to see because Madison Square Garden historically has had great boxing matches there. Especially, remember, it was home for the first Ali and Frazier fight back in the 70s. I don't know the date specifically, but about my head. But I mean, it had great fights down there in that building. But I mean, it's just lost a lot of its luster. So I'm gonna switch the focus to Fuller Sports here. So Fuller, if they decide to go for undisputed, what venue do you think should take place? Do you think it should take place in Texas, Nevada, or California?
Me personally, I would choose California, but then I'm worried about what will happen, the consequences that will happen in California, because of the simple fact that you have a big Hispanic population here, but you also have a African American population here, or I should just say a Black population period here. I'm worried about the repercussions of what can happen afterward, because right now, as it stands in LA right now, and I'm speaking from like first point of view, it's like urban warfare right now.
Right.
People are getting washed, niggas are getting shot, like niggas are getting like caught off guard, niggas are getting like niggas are getting poked, and like it's like right now it's like kill or be killed, like, in fact, I'm not gonna lie, like I live in a like relatively calm, chill area. I live in a relatively calm, chill area, next to the airport. But right now, as it stands, like just a couple of streets over, or whatever the case may be, or a couple of blocks over, shit is going up right now. Niggas are getting shot, niggas are doing drive-bys. So I'm worried about that, because like with this boxing thing, no matter what people say, people can say it all they want. People can say, leave race behind, but boxing is a race-filled thing. Boxing is definitely a race-filled thing. If a nigga, Deontay Wilder, becomes undisputed, okay, niggas are gonna go crazy over here. But on the same note, the Hispanic population is gonna be sour over here. Staples Center is in the hood, to be honest with you. They've gentrified it. They gentrified it to a certain extent, but don't get it twisted. You got 18th Street all up and down there.
Yep.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like, and we're outnumbered. That's the thing. Like, blacks over here, we're outnumbered. Yeah, I knew it was going to turn up here because it's summer. Like summer, I knew it was just going to be summertime craziness, and that's exactly what's happening. You know?
So you would prefer the fight to be taking place in probably somewhere in Texas? Would prefer it that way?
At this point, yeah, I would like it in LA, but at this point, it's like not feasible to do in LA right now. You know?
All right.
It's just not going to work really.
All right, for sure. No problem with that. Yeah, I mean, I think to me, money wise, if you really think about the location for the fight, I think it would be great to have it in Texas, though, because I know that both of the Hispanic populations and also both the blacks down there too would definitely come in and support that fight. And considering how Texas Stadium is now becoming more of a legitimate force in terms of the venue for boxing, after what we saw with Spencer Garcia, I think it would produce even more money. I mean, can you imagine the kind of money that could produce so? But I mean, the other thing too that also grabbed in my mind was that, Al Heyman continues to make moves and has not done any interviews with any media member. I mean, the bottom line is this: he's just working behind the scenes, making these fights happen. And the fact that he was able to, pull Andy Ruiz from his top-ranked contract and lead him to the unified heavyweight championships. I mean, you really think about the genius of what Al Heyman has done. And Bob Arum is certainly kicking himself in the foot for not utilizing that opportunity to do something now. So, I mean, at the end of the day, he has no one else to blame for himself. So, I mean, he can be mad at himself all he wants to. You know what I'm saying? So, but so I'm gonna try to switch up the conversation a bit. Now, this has been something that's been rattling on my mind lately. You know how the media tries to, portray, Tyson Fury as his like advocate for like mental health. I was so angry about it because here's the thing. Jermaine Taylor is retired now, and he's going through a lot of legal issues, but the man is like mentally, he's mentally destroyed from this abuse in boxing. I mean, the man needs help. And what I see is nobody cares two shits about Jermaine Taylor. I mean, the man clearly needs help. And then Tyson Fury gets all this limelight because of the color of his skin. I mean, that's just something that I want to get off my chest, though. But so Focus Ball, you want to take a shot at it? Okay, he's still probably on mute there. So, okay, Bua, let me ask you this question, though, man. Do you think that Tyson Fury's been getting a lot more attention about this whole mental health thing, despite the fact that Jermaine Taylor is a guy that needs more help than Tyson Fury? Excuse me.
Yeah, because he came back and like people want to believe that he won that fight against Wilder, but I mean, when you look at it, he wasn't really landing clean. But like a lot of people believe that he won that fight, and they're like, "Wow, what a comeback! He came back so well."
Mm-hmm.
And with that being said, with that being said, people are still hyped over that thing, and with those people being hyped over those things, they're gonna still give him the press. That's just the bottom line. And so with that being said, is that like people are hyped up? Oh, chilling. What's up with you? Yeah, through there. Yeah. But with that being said, he's gonna get the attention. That's just how it works. You know what time it is. I'm just letting you know right now. You know what time. You know what time we're on. I'm telling you. You know what time we're on when it comes to this whole thing.
Right.
Especially for the protection. That's just how it works.
Okay, so Boxing Conversation with Reggie Owens has something to say when it comes to the whole LA section thing. He said, in my section of LA, we don't fear Mexicans. To speak if Mexicans run folks in LA is a weak stance, my brother. I don't like that type of talk. So I think he was kind of alluding.
No. Let me clarify something. It's not about them running something there. It's about the simple fact they got numbers. That's just it. When it comes to fades, though, all day we're going to win. But it's just they got numbers. When you're numbered, sometimes, they say quality beats quantity. Not in this case. Not in this case. So that's all I'm saying. Nobody fears them. Nobody fears them. But the reality is there is more of them.
Right.
That's just it.
All right. Thanks for the clarification, though. Not a problem, though, at all. So, but so now let me just try to switch up the conversation back to the whole boxing thing. So we still got a lot of good boxing that's going to be coming up soon. So, so let me start with focus ball on this question, though. So, can you put your mic on mute, Fuller? So,
yeah, I got it.
Okay. So let me ask you this question, though, focus ball. What kind of matches are you hoping for to see throughout the remainder of 2019?
Bro, let's start with the heavyweight division. I'm trying to see Ruiz versus Wilder. I don't give a fuck about Ruiz AJ2. Here's going to happen in Ruiz AJ2. He's in camp. They're going to put on the pressure. They ain't going to teach him nothing. He's going to get spanked by Ruiz. If he doesn't change anything, he'll get spanked. That's where we start. He's irrelevant.
You're breaking up their focus ball. You're kind of breaking up a bit, my brother. Yeah, it's kind of like it sounded like robotic there a moment though. So go ahead and keep talking. I'll keep listening. Go ahead, keep going.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you better now. So go ahead.
Check. How do I sound?
A little bit. Much better. Go
ahead. I want to see Ruiz. I want to see Ruiz versus Wilder. I don't really care about the Ortiz. So I would like to see Wilder become undisputed. If it's Ruiz, if it's not Ruiz, it's got to be one of those two. And depending on how the fight goes, I think a rematch. And then you can go fight. If Wilder becomes undisputed, he can go fight pussy ass faggot Fury next and shut that bullshit. Shut down his whole hype train and kill ESPN. Fuck him. And then he can fight whoever the hell else. But I really want to see undisputed this year. Lower weight class, I would like to see Sean Porter and Spence, and then after that, undisputed.
Okay, no problem with that for sure. So let me switch the question to focus to full of sports. What kind of matches do you want to? What kind of matches are you hoping to see throughout the remainder of 2019?
Honestly, I may be hoping too much, but I just want to see. Like what Demetrius Andre would look like against the Canelo. Basically, I want to see that. I want to see if he has something for him. I want to see if he has what it takes to derail this so-called Mexican superstar that everybody is crazy about, because I want him deflated as well. I want him like he was against Floyd Mayweather, when Floyd Mayweather basically beat the brakes off of him and he was about to cry after the fight. He was about to cry after the fight,
Right.
He was really about to boo-hoo, and I would like to see that. I would like to see Bugatti do that to him, and I have a feeling that, this Selecki fight is going to be, we're going to see what he can do in the Selecki fight. And if he does what he needs to do in the Selecki fight, then I want to see that. I want to see if he makes the statement that I hope he makes in the Selecki fight, then I want to see him against the Canelo, basically.
Okay.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
And then maybe if Charlo or GGZ decides to man up, him fighting a Charlo. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
I'm really interested in some middleweight bouts. That's the division that I'm really kind of like checking for at this point now.
Cool. Watching conversation, Reggie Owens gave us a question in the chat. He said, "Did y'all see the Tabides versus the Rico's fight? Tabides suffered a wild style KO at the hands of the Ricos."
Tabidi got iced.
Yeah, I didn't see that one yet, so I probably had to check it out on my phone.
Iced in the 10th round.
Okay.
Yeah, Tabidi got iced in the 10th round.
Okay.
You know, he got iced.
All right, let me check that out real quick though. But the fights that I want to see are probably in the lower weight classes though. I want to see Lomachenko, get smoked. I want to see him lose at the hands of either Teofimo Lopez or as far as to say Tank Davis. Because let me be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna say this off the rip. I want Lomachenko gone out of sight. You know why? Because he's the most overhyped boxer I've ever seen in my life. I mean, listen, y'all see me on Trill Boxing Talk, always giving the business to, and oh my goodness, what a knockout, bro. Oh my goodness.
Iced him.
Oh man.
Iced him.
Oh man, bro. Straight. That's like straight. Oh man. Straight right hand, bro. Yeah, Reggie Owens, bro. That was sick.
Iced him. Ice that nigga. Ice that nigga.
Nah, that's more like the lines of night.
He iced them, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I would like to see Lomachenko fulfill everything they say he's about. Honestly, I would like to see him become undisputed and even beat up Tank Davis.
Right. That's what I do. Here's the thing, man. I'm so sick and tired of these people saying that Lomachenko is this awesome, the speed, the angles, the footwork, the footwork. Like, bro,
I hope he lives up to it.
I hope so too, but I'm so sick and tired of hearing this, so bro. Especially, listen, y'all see me on Trill Boxing Talk, always giving it the business of Black Fight Fade TV, like tell him, like, bro, if he said all that he say he is, why did he lose to Orlando Salido? Understand? I mean,
because Orlando Salido beat him the hell up. That's why.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Bullied him around.
Right. Exactly.
Bullied him around and did what he wanted with him.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, let me say this. If Lomachenko fulfills what he say he is, then you know what? I will shut everything up and I will accept what he is. But I just don't think he's all that he say he is, all right? I think if you put him against an athletic fighter, like say a Teofimo Lopez, or as far as say a Tank Davis, if Tank decides to, get his act together, then you know what? If he is able to beat one of those guys or even both, then you know what? I'll give him all the credit he deserves. But we know for a fact that Top Rank is never going to allow that to happen. Because I don't think in their minds he can beat those kind of guys. Plus, the fact that he's had all that amateur experience too, he's getting up there in age, and he just came back from a rotator cuff surgery too. So he's really showing some rust and some wear and tear, from my view. But I really want to see Teofimo Lopez, face Vasyl Lomachenko. That'd be a really good fight. That'd probably be the most significant fight of his career, other than some other fights that he had with, like, say, Gary Russell Jr. I give him credit for him beating Gary Russell Jr., Nicholas Walters. I don't give him credit for Guillermo Rigondeaux, because the fact is the dude had to go up 2 weight classes to beat you, and he had an injured hand. Give me a break, bro. That's just how I feel about that, though, man. So, but the other fights I want to see Caleb Plant versus David Benavidez. I think that's going to be a really good fight there, 168 though too. I want to see Jamal Charlo, face against Canelo, because I know that Jamal is going to destroy Canelo. He's too big, too athletic for Canelo, or even Jamal Charlo versus Triple G. But that's not going to happen because Triple G doesn't want those kind of problems. So, but those are the fights I hope that I can see, but I don't see that happening either. So, but that's just how I see it too. So I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm actually hungry right now. So So let's start getting some last words in. So Fula, go ahead and give me your last words, brother. Counting 1, 2, 3, the Fula Sports in the house. Counting down to Fula Sports. Are you there, brother? Okay, you probably have to come back. So, okay, Focus Balls. You got any last words, my brother?
Yo, thanks for having me on, fam. Salute to the chat and the panel, and salute to the LDBC. You don't know. I might go live later. I really got to start like being more consistent with my lives and shit. I got a bunch of videos that I uploaded, but YouTube told me to go fuck myself, and they blocked my shit. So
I know.
Make some of my videos, and it's just kind of killed my passion. But yeah, man, subscribe, and I'll definitely try to be a little more consistent with my videos.
Just keep going though, bro. I'm gonna try to be more consistent with my live streams though too. But you know how YouTube is trying to like is basically killing other channels though, not just LDBC but everybody too. So be on the lookout. All right. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so Fuller, are you back there, my man? Earth to Fuller. All right. Well, thanks. Well, do you know what? Thanks for coming in, Fuller. Really appreciate you, for coming in there and chopping it up, though, brother. So, but thanks for everybody for tuning in to the chat. Just going in there, being active, bro. I'll be back the same time. I'll be back at 3 p.m. my normal time today. Hangouts was basically being a bitch to me today. They just was not cooperating with me, and I had to use all the other alternate links or browsers, and I found the one that worked. So I'll be trying to make sure to figure this out by tonight to try to see what's wrong with it. I tried to go with it on Google Chrome, but it wasn't working for me, so I'm actually using it on Torch. So hopefully that continues to work, though. But thanks for Focus Ball. Thanks to Full Sports for tuning in to another great edition of MehariNation Sports Podcast here. It was supposed to be about NBA talk, but I kind of switched it up to like boxing talk. So, but it turned out to be great. So, thanks for everybody for tuning in. This has been Abil Mehari, represent MehariNation Sports Podcast. Salute to the entire LDBC, and we out. Have a good night, everybody.